Hey, what's your secret? You got the kind of vibe that leaves me speechless. It could be model, multitasking genius. Yeah, you got it all. Hey, what's your story? A kick-ass mom and 40 under 40. A soccer practice in your high heel glory. Yeah, you do it all. Ain't about the cup, won't you listen up? I'm a woman, stronger than what you would believe. Way more than what's plain to see. You either got it or you don't. I'm a woman.
But you know, women bring something different to a situation, and so I appreciate that. You know, at MIU we have a lot of women faculty and leaders within the administration, and we support each other, and I think we bring something different, extra to the table. So I think it's a good thing.
I'd say when I was about 15 years old and I was like starting to get boyfriends and stuff, I was kind of annoyed at the fact that every boyfriend that boy that I liked, my mom had to meet, because that's not really normal for Americans. Americans can really just like go out with whoever they want, but my mom wanted to meet every single friend, wanted them to come over and talk to her. Every boyfriend, she had to embarrass me in front of. So I kind of dislike that, but now I like it. Now I appreciate that.
So I thought me being loud, me being just me, like vibrant, being on top of the world, just kidding. I thought that was maybe like a little off. Maybe I thought I was uneducated or not educated enough. I thought because our values, they're not my values. Like, this is what it means to be very Mexican, is the woman stays at home, cleans, and there are very Mexican things in Mexico that I am not okay with in America, because I have Americanized values at times where I'm not gonna be picking up after my man or my partner. So that's where I draw the line.
Historically, there's, been so much strife and so much oppression towards womanhood, and also towards, dark-skinned people, Black people, globally, and this has been going on for, just hundreds and hundreds of years.
They were trying to make sure like the women stay at home and dress like ration the way their outfits were, but like Pachucos are trying to. We were already like, the Mexican culture was already demonized, so they were like, no, we're dressing up, we're showing out.
I feel like I definitely am Americanized because I've grown up in America, but there's definitely some big differences, like really the way I hold myself and the lessons I've learned, even the way that my family got here really like made me who I am.
Growing up in the Black community in America, as a girl, you're given a lot of very extreme images and symbols of what it means to be a Black woman, and rarely is it, ever balanced out. On one hand, there's this image of being just very hypersexual and very raunchy and very out there. Darn, okay. What's another word? In some cases, slutty. And then on the other hand, you're given this very bland image of being, unattractive and being, a religious freak in some cases, and, being completely disconnected from, your feminine essence. And it's like these two images are constantly like these two images are, you know, constantly thrown to you. And then we have this image of, you know, this super like independent woman who needs no one, and she has the worst attitude, and she, you know, no one likes her. And rarely is it that you can see, you know, an image of Black women that's balanced, that's holistic, and that shows her as a human person with feelings, and who cries and has, you know, bad days, and has people that support her. And where I am now is, you know, learning to connect with my own feminine essence and find and understand the different sides of myself that are vulnerable, sexual, studious, and devoted to the divine, and all these different sides of human beings that we have, whilst at the same time, you know, rejecting these extreme images that we're subconsciously indoctrinated with. And a lot of the times I like worry about like how I'm perceived and how I come off. And this sort of ties back into me being a youth and feeling like I couldn't be my actual authentic self because I always had to adjust so people didn't have this misconception about me or think of me as a stereotype.
I don't think, I mean, there definitely is an expectation. There was an expectation when I was younger that if you wanted to be successful as a woman, you had to be better than the men. That was just sort of it. Even if you were, that didn't necessarily mean that you would get the same jobs that they got. I didn't really experience that when I was applying for jobs. There was only one woman in my law firm of 128 lawyers who was a partner. But I was kind of used to that at that point. We saw ourselves as breaking down these kinds of barriers, and there were probably equal number of young women coming into the law firm as men at the time. So we felt that that was going to change. We didn't, there probably were a few more men than women, but we saw that, you know, if we stayed and we wanted to be partners, that was not going to be close to us. We didn't feel that that would be close to us. My funniest experience, though, in the law firm was some partner came up to me and handed me a bunch of papers, and he said, "Can you type this for me?" And assuming that I was a secretary, because he just wasn't used to young women lawyers. And I was not a particularly good typist. And so I said, "I don't think you really want me to do that." And then I explained, and of course he was very embarrassed that he had not recognized that I was a young lawyer, but you know, how would he necessarily? The only people that were women in the law firm that were young were secretaries, so it wasn't surprising. But that's changed. That's definitely changed in the field of law, and you know, I think it's a good thing. I never felt like I didn't get something because I was a woman. But I was lucky. You know, there were definitely people who were as qualified who didn't make that 7, you know, who were in my first law school class. It wasn't that there were only 7 people who were women who were competent to be in law school, but I was one of those, so I didn't have to feel, oh, I didn't get in because of that. I don't think I've ever wanted to do something that I haven't been allowed to do because I was a woman. I guess I'm lucky.
I actually really like the combination because, like, I really got that stronger woman aspect and really nurturing aspect from my Hispanic culture, and like the food, the really nutritious food, and really different cuisine that they have. I got to learn all of that from my grandma, and I get to learn another language from my family, and it adds a little spice, not just being American.
Honestly, just starting the journey of womanhood and this womanhood being connected with my heritage.
I think now we've got so many wonderful models for young girls growing up to see what possibilities there are. As I said, I was fortunate within my own family. Not everybody had those kind of models in their family, but now those models are out there, you know, and all colors, races, religions. It's much more of a rainbow reality than it was when I was growing up. And I think that that is a gift to this generation from the previous generations. When you look back and see what people had to do, both from a cultural perspective and you know, we're talking about women from the perspective of being a woman. A lot of those battles have been fought, so take advantage of it and don't let anything hold you back.
Hey, tell me something. How do you do it all while never budging? You rule the world but make it look like nothing. Such a boss. Hey, true or false? It take about 20 men to do your job. A kingdom never fails when there's a queen in charge. Girl, don't stop. Hey, buttercup, won't you listen up? I'm a woman.